We have a proclamation that we want to read for the record, so if you'll bear with me. It says, whereas on the 3rd day of November 1936, the citizens of Missouri overwhelmingly voted to support a constitutional amendment to create the Conservation Commission with the sole authority to control, manage, restore, conserve, and regulate Missouri's bird, fish, forestry, and wildlife. Also, Aldo Leopold, one of conservation's greatest visionaries, once stated that when it comes to making conservation a living reality, of first importance is a sustained high average of quality commissioner appointments.
So nominations are now in order for the office of chairman.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Don Bedell for chair.
I'd like to second that.
And are there any further nominations?
I'd like to nominate Barry.
Well,
Out of order, there's no second.
that's right. We have a nomination for chairperson, Commissioner Bedell. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Commissioner Bedell. You are now chairman. We now have a motion to take up the vice chair nomination.
I nominate Barry Orsland.
And are there any other nominations?
I would like to add to that, if I might, that he served both as vice chair and secretary.
Okay.
And do we have approval for that?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
We have a new chairman, a new vice chair, and an acting secretary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In 2007, Governor Blunt formed the Feral Hog Task Force, made up of conservation and agricultural organizations and agencies. They were tasked to develop a plan to eradicate feral hogs. We've had very productive joint meetings with leadership at the Missouri Department of Agriculture, and we're very thankful for the support of Director Chin and her staff. Both of our agencies sent a joint letter to the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, urging him to close the Mark Twain Forest to hog hunting.
A quick question. So you started this collaboration in 2008, and so when you look at the feral hog population then and now, what have you made progress?
I would say we have made progress. I would say that some of the partners that were involved in that effort would, if they could go back to that 2007-2008 timeframe, wish that they would have expedited the closure of public lands to hunting. Yes, sir.
If the Forest Service fails to close Mark Twain, let's say, what happens then? What do we as an agency do? Because we seem to be the one that's out front. We're taking the brunt of the criticism from the hunters.
I think that if the Mark Twain fails to close to hunting, it will be a significant question for the commission to answer. Is it still a valid use of taxpayer dollars, over $2.5 million that this agency is spending towards the eradication efforts?
It would seem that we need to make sure that all our partners understand that if they're not all in, then we're going to spend that $2 million in other ways, in ways where we get some bang for our buck. But we're not going to continue to waste that money if they're not going to give us 100% support.
Whereas on the third day of November 1936, the citizens of Missouri overwhelmingly voted to support a constitutional amendment to create the Conservation Commission with the sole authority to control, manage, restore, conserve, and regulate Missouri's bird, fish, forestry, and wildlife.
Yeah, I'm going to have Aaron come up and talk more specifically to the engagement with public safety or MDA.
Good morning, Commissioners. I think the difficulty is these animals can be moved very quickly in the back of a trailer, in the back of a construction trailer, and it only takes a couple seconds to release them. Yeah. More important is probably working with our partner with the Department of Agriculture and the General Assembly to improve regulations and improve state statute to prevent the further release of hogs.
It's my pleasure to present the next item on your agenda, the financial summary report for fiscal year 2019 through May. The number of monetary hunting and fishing permits sold for fiscal year 19 through May were 90,000 less than the previous year.
As a commissioner, we don't always get things right.